The way Richard kills in this film, it is like, is this even legal? This guy just goes up to anybody that is committing crimes and just kills them. I get it, you're an ex-military police person, so maybe you could dish out the law, so to speak. But just going up to people anyhow and just killing bad people, like it should be legal. Like I feel like it should be legal, but this guy just does it so many times, and it just makes me start questioning the law over there. Man, the way this guy kills people is crazy, man. It's insane. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. In this video, I want to talk about season 2 of Richard. When some members of Richard's former team are getting killed, he bands with the rest of his team to find out who has been committing all these crimes. In this story, we get to see Richard as a team player. We get to see him as he works with his team. And it's something we did not get in the first season. In the first season, it was more like a lone wolf or a lone ranger. But in this season, we see him working with his team members. And that's something that was very fresh that I like that he did with it. Although we saw him work with some people in the first season, but he didn't work with them like a team. It was just like collaborating with them once in a while, but he was doing what he wanted to do by himself. But in this season, we get to see him work as a team player. And it was something that was refreshing to see. But as refreshing as it was, I wish they didn't focus on the whole team as much. I wish they had focused more on Richard, because when they're focusing on Richard is when the series is at its best, in my opinion. Because we get to see how this man calculates and how he thinks and how he does things all by himself. But when he's working with the team members, all of them gets like screen time, and sometimes don't seem to have as much to do. Like in the first season, when he was the only one doing things. I liked when he was the only one, because when he was doing the things by himself, you get to see him, you get to see his mind, you get to see how he works and all that thing. And even the fighting sequences, like he's the only one fighting. So the fighting sequences were always very, very massive. Like you are into it so much, and you can see that like so many bad guys are trying to fight just him. So something that was just so immersive with the fighting sequences. But now that he has the team, as he's fighting, the team is fighting. So like the camera does not stay on one person; it's jumping from one fight to another fight, showing what is happening around the place. Not that it was bad like that, but it did not just immerse me, because we are just cutting and jumping from one place to another instead of just focusing on one fight. So that's something I did not really enjoy with this series. And the story of this season was a very interesting story. Although there was very little mystery to it, it was still very interesting. And that mystery thing was something that was very present in the first season and made that first season so good. And the fact that it was very little and almost kind of predictable, maybe not really predictable, but it was very little in this season, was something that did not make it land as well as it should have landed, because it's just one particular mystery. Every other thing is clear. There's just one small particular mystery, and that mystery is not like a great mystery or anything. So I wish that there was more mystery about it, like in the first season. And like I said, the story was interesting, but it was not great. Like I don't know why I keep comparing to the first season, because the first season was so good. Like it was, maybe because I didn't know what to expect and I went into it blind. That first season blew my mind. So I was expecting the same level of craziness in that first season in this one, but I didn't get it. So I can't help but compare those two seasons together. And like the first season, the fighting sequences in this show were very, very brutal. Like brutal. The way this guy beats people up, like man, he beats people like he wants to kill them. It's crazy. Like, is that shit legal? Like it shouldn't be legal. The way he kills people and he beats people. But those action sequences were very, very interesting. As much as they were interesting, they were not that immersive, because, like I said earlier, they were jumping from one person fighting to another person fighting. So it does not let you experience this one fight sequence as much, because you are jumping from different characters fighting. It doesn't immerse you in that experience. But the fight sequences were still very interesting. Another thing I liked about it was the antagonistic dynamic between Richard and Detective Russo, detective, basically. The relationship between them, the antagonistic dynamic between them was something that was very interesting. And I feel like that's when the series was at its best, because you just see these two masculine macho men going head to head against each other. And you're just looking like, okay, what's going to happen now? Give this guy a blow, give this guy a blow. They don't actually fight like that. Maybe they fight in one scene. It wasn't really a fight, it was more like a beating. But the series was always so good when those two guys were antagonizing themselves. I feel like that's what makes the season so good. You see Richard as this person that doesn't care about the law, and you see this man as someone that opposes the law and is crazy about the law, and some of them are going head to head. Not that Richard does not care about the law, but he can maneuver his way through the law. But this man is a very strict man. So when you see two of them going head to head, just gets so exciting. And that was one of the parts I loved most in this season. It was so, so good. Overall, this season was a very enjoyable season. The action sequences were brutal and exciting. The story was interesting. The relationship between Richard and his comrades was also very good to see. And all those things came together. Even though it was not as great as the first season, it was still a very enjoyable season, and I really enjoyed it. So have you guys seen the second season of Richard? What do you think about it? Comment below and let me know. this is your first time on my channel, what you're going to do now, you're going to like this video and you're going to subscribe to this channel. If you don't do that, I'm going to rip your throat out and your last thought to be like, holy shit, you really did it. Yes, I really did it. Sorry. That was my Richard alter ego coming out. So do what it says. If I were you, I would do what it says. So you're going to see it's rat. So subscribe, like, share, blah 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 blah. If you don't want your throat ripped out. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Cheers.